What happens when the thing you've barely dared to dream for actually comes true? How does it change you when what you've been believing for and almost given up hope on finally becomes reality? The Redefining Possible podcast spotlights guests with stories of insurmountable odds who have witnessed the impossible become possible with God. Hi everyone, welcome to Redefining Possible. I'm your host, Peyton Hoffman, and with me today, we have an incredible power couple. We have Lisa and Russell Stuart. And Russell, welcome both of you, first of all, to Redefining Possible. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Russell, you've been an industry veteran in entertainment for over 20 years. You have an incredible security company that is kind of the secret service of Hollywood. So I love that it's like 007 for Hollywood. And you are a husband, a father. You've been recently elected to the Board of Education in Beverly Hills. I mean, you are a busy man. You are doing things. And Lisa, you are getting ready to launch the Drama Diet. You've got your book. You've got the new podcast. I mean, both of you. Oh my goodness. Thank you for making time for us today. Thank you for making time to share your story. This is just really, really exciting. So for those of us who, or those who are listening and those who are watching, take us back. You have a really powerful story to share today. So November 14th, take us back. Where were you all? What were you doing? Just take us back to the events of that night.
Wow, yes, that night was the holiday lighting ceremony, which is an annual event on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. Took our family, our daughter, and our dog, and our dog was being a little rambunctious, and I decided to walk him home. Okay. And when I was walking him home, my daughter had seen one of her school friends with a Hello Kitty balloon that lit up. Important. And just by chance, I saw a vendor who was selling one of those. Oh, wow. And I walked over and asked how much, and I pulled out the money, and I woke up in Cedars-Sinai.
Wow.
After what I now then learned that I was hit by a carjacked vehicle, and I was struck in the back.
And you were walking, so you were a pedestrian at this. We want to clarify that. You weren't in another vehicle.
Yes.
You were, okay.
I was on the sidewalk buying the balloon and was struck in the back and ended up flying into a concrete wall and breaking such wall with my body. And just grateful to be alive.
Oh my goodness. And Lisa, for you, where were you when you got a phone call? Where were you when you heard this had happened? I know you're with, because we've talked about it, I know you're with your daughter. Tell me, just for you, what pieces of this did you hear about, when this happened?
So I was with our daughter, and she wanted to go towards the stage, which was about 2 blocks down.
Okay.
And it was very loud. There was a lot of music, a lot of people. And about half an hour later, I said to her, let's go find Daddy. And I tried to text him and call him, and he didn't answer, which is very usual for him.
Okay, so
very
that didn't
usual.
set off any alarms. That's
right?
Good to know.
But there was something that wasn't sitting right with me. Yeah. Like I knew something was wrong. Like I kept asking everyone, have you seen Russ? Have you seen him? And nobody saw him. And then I got the phone call about 45 minutes later, and it was, Russ got into an accident. He's on his way to the hospital. We have your dog. That's all the information that I got.
Wow, I have goosebumps just hearing that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And because I do personal injury plaintiff's work, I went into what happened? Can he talk? Can he move his fingers? Is he conscious? I went through the entire checklist.
You went into professional mode of
everything.
Yeah.
Plus, I got that phone call 22 years earlier when my mother got hit by a car. So, I already knew, all the questions to ask. And they're like, we have no information.
Okay.
But come get your dog. And I had our daughter with us, who was hysterical.
How old was she at the time? Tell me.
She was just about to turn 7.
I was going to say 7. Okay, so she, not quite 7, but almost 7.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Also, a really delicate age to introduce to any kind of a traumatic situation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you had her, but there was nowhere for her to go. I mean, you had to bring her with you.
I had to bring her with me. Yes.
Yeah. And so you walked up to the situation, and he was already gone. You were on your way to the hospital at this point. And what sight or what were you faced with when you got there?
So there was yellow tape barricading people away, and there were a ton of police officers, paramedics, firefighters, who were all amazing, by the way. And we are so grateful and thankful to everyone. There was the car there that was crumbled against the pole, and it was an SUV. And so somebody came, and they're like, you can't come through. And I said, no, my husband is the one that got hit. And they opened the tape. And then they brought this dog on a leash. And I said, where's Rudy, our dog? And they're like, this is your dog.
Oh, it wasn't your dog?
It was our dog, but our dog is white and fluffy.
Okay.
And this dog was like really matted and gray. I guess he was pinned under the car.
So
and
like car oils
there was
and
some
things.
fluid on him, so I picked him up, and he was like shivering, and I don't know what was on him. And he had some blood on him, and immediately city council and police officers took my daughter to the side so I can speak with the chief and different people and find out what happened.
They jumped in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So when all this is going on, you said there was a moment you woke up in the hospital. So were you unconscious the whole time, or?
So I was told by one of the Beverly Hills firefighters who transported me that I woke up in the ambulance. I don't remember it actually, but he had mentioned, and it was really, it was really an amazing moment when he said to me that he said, I really know the type of man that you are, because you woke up and the only thing that you said was, is my family okay?
Oh, Russ. Wow.
Even though I had no idea what had happened.
Right.
I didn't even know where I
your
was
first
at the
thought.
time, but at the moment I opened up my eyes, he said, is my family okay? And he just says, that's how you're built. And then the first bit of information that I remembered was, I think it was when they were like picking up my arm and I was screaming or something.
In the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay.
They needed to like look at my back or something, and they had like rolled me over, and I was literally screaming as
Now,
and that was kind of like the first thing I was like, oh my gosh, okay,
recall.
yeah.
So you remember you woke up, you were in Cedars. You tell us, how many broken bones are we talking from this? I know it was a lot.
I'll let the PI attorney. Yeah, it was a lot. It was more than any human being should break and live.
Yeah.
It was.
I think was it like 18?
Yeah, it was
17
something
or
in that
18?
number.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot. And when I first talked to some of the surgeons, and they were just like, there's no mathematical equation that allows you to get hit by a vehicle first, then hit the windshield of the vehicle,
right,
then get thrown into a concrete wall, and then of course hit the ground
and still survive.
And when you look at it from each body part, there could have been absolutely life-changing, catastrophic things where obviously I was extremely injured.
Yes.
But the fact that I got hit in the hip, but didn't break my hip.
Wow.
The fact that I hit a wall with my back and didn't break my spine.
Wow.
I also hit my head, but I didn't crack my skull open. So it's like all of these, which in the end is God. And God said, this is not your time.
No.
And you're not going anywhere. Yeah, you're going to have a little extended stay in the hospital for a little bit. But the fact that I was able to walk away gingerly.
Yes, carefully.
And still, unfortunately, but the fact that I could walk away and still, be able to play with my daughter and still be able to walk our dog and still be able to, be, a husband.
The fact
that
you weren't paralyzed, because just the likelihood of hitting any of those areas, the head, the neck, the back, the fact that you walked in here today. Just for those who are watching and listening, you and Lisa both came into the studio today. You came in walking well. And that is amazing. It's amazing that you could, it's amazing that and you're not 5'4", you're not, like a 6-year-old child, but still incredible to be able to be hit with that kind of force, like you said, to hit multiple objects, to hit the car, the windshield, the ground, the brick wall, and to be not only alive, but to be, for all intents and purposes, pretty fine, is crazy. It's a miracle. I mean, it is absolutely a miracle. And so tell us what that, you came into the hospital, obviously an extended stay in the hospital because of...
I have a membership card there now.
You should. You really should. They might name a wing after you. It's, there should be a good... We're really thankful that Russell has single-handedly employed us for several weeks.
I do want to apologize to some of the staff. I heard that when I was heavily medicated, I was saying some, what I thought in the moment probably was funny, but
not quite funny.
Sometimes my comedy can be a little racy.
I'm going to guess they probably get that a lot on,
I'm sure they do.
Folks on
In fact, one
drugs.
of the nurses says, I've heard worse.
Yeah. Tell us about just the care team and everything that you had. I mean, you were there for a while, I'm assuming different stages of care as well. So maybe walk us through some of that, just what that was like being there and realizing I'm going to live. I mean, did you have that moment of just, okay, I'm going to live, but this is going to be a long road?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I was pretty much immobile for the first few days.
Okay.
I mean, I was extremely bruised everywhere. I couldn't sit up on my own. I couldn't do anything on my own. So to kind of put your entire being into others was very different for me, because I'm a very independent person. I'm not someone who asks for help. And I was really trying my best. I was moved from the 6th floor up to the 7th floor, and I decided to walk some of it.
Oh my goodness.
Even though it was literally inch by inch, and it was extremely painful. But it was just a part of kind of my own being, where it's I had to tell myself that I was going to be okay.
Yeah.
So, and also too, for our daughter, I didn't know how she was processing things, but I wanted her to make sure that she knew that Daddy was going to be just fine.
Now, did she didn't see you, I'm assuming, right in the hospital immediately, or at what point did she see you?
3 days, 4 days?
So I want to just say one thing before that is Russ was in the trauma ER.
Okay.
Totally on his back, blood pouring out, broken bones everywhere. A miracle that he's a superhuman being, pursuant to the doctors, that he just had broken bones, which were a lot and extensive. But he mustered up the strength to call our daughter and say, everything's okay, Daddy's okay, which made her stop crying. And that was just a testament to how strong he is.
Yeah.
The hospital wouldn't let him. He's considered a trauma patient.
That is,
He had a trauma name. So if anybody came to visit him, he actually, you weren't allowed to use his real...
Tell me what a trauma name is. What is...
So it was he was called Aurelia Street, and I'll never forget that because it sounds like a band. And they said they gave it to him because he's in the public eye, and they didn't want just anybody coming in to visit him, which we didn't know. But we're super appreciative of it.
Wow, that they did that.
So, and children under 12 are not allowed to come to the 6th or 7th floor of the hospital.
That kind of makes sense because it's a very traumatic area. They don't want to cause that type of mental trauma for kids. Yeah.
However, the staff was so amazing. They not only let our daughter come twice, they let me bring our dog in to see him, which was so healing for both of them. So they were really, truly amazing.
Just for you to know the dog's okay, for you to know, I'm sure for him to know that you were okay, and your daughter to know that both were okay is huge. Oh my goodness. Wow. So this is, so you're in the trauma ward, you're obviously healing slowly. And the self-protector, or the protector that you are, I mean, you have a security firm, you do protect other people. That is your job, and that is your company. So I can see where that kind of kicked in of no, I'm gonna walk just a little bit. I need to show people that I'm okay, and I'm gonna be okay. And like you said, you needed to tell yourself that you were going to be okay.
Can I just add? That was after a 7-hour surgery where they put in plates and reattached tendons to bones. He has plates all over his body too.
Yeah. So tell me, so what what do you remember of your time in the hospital? I mean, I know as somebody who's been in the hospital for a few weeks, in my life, I know it's like clips. It kind of comes and goes because you are so medicated when you're there. But what pieces do you remember from that?
Boy, I mean, one of the things that I really took from that time was just how many people had reached out.
Yeah.
The number of like bouquets of flowers and teddy bears
Wow.
and gifts and food and just messages. I was really blown away. And you know, in the roles that I have in my career, you know, I'm not liked in every circle. And now that I'm in politics, you know, we all know
Things
how
can
that
get
goes.
a little, yeah.
So to even see people that would be considered foes of mine had reached out and said, just because we don't see eye to eye on something doesn't mean that we want to see you hurt.
Yes.
So to
I
have
love
those
that.
people who reached out, I think that's the biggest memory, was just every day the love just kept coming in. And I also just want to mention the religious staff at the hospital. Like different religious background people came in, and I didn't care because it wasn't. You know, I wasn't. You know, a Jew or a Christian or at the moment I was a human being.
Yep.
And I was like, if you want to come in and pray for me, absolutely.
Like, please do.
Please.
Yes.
And I had such wonderful times speaking with all of these different leaders who, you know, it wasn't about, you know, anything specific. It was just about God has a plan for you, and He didn't want you to leave. And it was just so thoughtful for all these people that just wanted to come in and just reassure me that God's got a plan, and it was it was very special.
Oh, I love that. And Lisa, talk to me about the importance of community for you as Russell's wife and as a mother, just during this time when you know he's being taken care of well at Cedars. You know people are coming in and they're pouring into him. Tell me about community for you in that time.
It was unlike anything I'd ever seen, and I've seen a lot. I have been very fortunate to grow up and to have a community rallying around me in times of need, in good times and bad. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen an outpouring of love to Russ, to me, to my children, to my our dog, to our daughter. Like, it was beyond anything. And I think that their love, support, and prayers really carried us through this time. And one thing I want to add is, if I may, in the past, it's okay, it's good, it's good, don't worry, it's good, stay close. In the past, Russ has always been a man of action. He's always like, let's talk more action, right? So he's always saying, like, why are people saying thoughts and prayers? Like, do something about it. And I don't know if he remembers, but I remember him being in the hospital with tears in his eyes going, wow, I will never say that again. I have felt every single prayer from around the world. And he had people praying from around the world.
Wow.
And he's like, they're really powerful. So
it is.
Yeah.
Prayer is hugely powerful. I've seen the power of prayer in my life and miracles, and it's just, once you experience it, you don't see it the same way. You really don't. And there are people who say thoughts and prayers, and it's like a fluff thing that people say to say, but when you know people are saying it and they mean it and they're doing it, I think that's a very different thing.
Absolutely.
That's a very different thing. And I love that you had just all kinds of different people coming into the hospital, praying for you, covering you, supporting you. And it sounds like very actionable steps too for you, like helping with your daughter, bringing food, like just doing whatever they could to help make sure you were supported so you could be with him, as much as possible. And, that's huge because it takes that burden off of you so you can be where he needs you to be.
It's something I will always be thankful and grateful for, something we never took lightly. So I don't know if we were able to thank everyone enough, but it was really
it's amazing.
deeply
And
received.
just to hear like people that you said that you kind of considered foes politically or in maybe in business that were like reaching out actively, checking on you, making sure you were okay. You can disagree and still want the best for each other.
absolutely.
Was that something you just never? I mean, you sounded really surprised to share that. Was that something you just did not expect to see happen?
No, I didn't expect it. I mean, it was very. I mean, it really showed me that in the end, it's about humanity, and no matter what beliefs that you have or what you're fighting for, we have a common existence. And when I saw some of the letters and cards and gifts, and when I saw the names, I was like, wow,
You're like,
really?
wow.
And I actually then reached out to those people
I
and
love
said,
that.
it's very, it's just such an amazing feeling to know that we can be on opposite spectrums on certain topics, but in the end, we want to see each other thrive. And it was just a beautiful sentiment that humanity wins.
It's amazing, and it's deeper than political issues or differences of opinions or beliefs. It's like, hey, actually, I still want the best for you, and I think
Absolutely.
that's really amazing. So shifting gears a little bit, was there a moment when all of this just looked impossible, when recovery looked impossible, it felt impossible? I mean, yeah, maybe you probably each have a moment, actually. I mean, you might each have one. So was there one maybe that you remember that stands out as like, am I going to make it through this? Or did you just know, hey, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to make it? So shifting gears a little bit, was there a moment when all of this just looked impossible, when recovery looked impossible, it felt impossible? I mean, yeah, maybe you probably each have a moment, actually. I mean, you might each have one. So was there one maybe that you remember that stands out as like, am I going to make it through this? Or did you just know, hey, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to make it?
I think in the beginning it was very hard, when I'd say probably in like the first week, because I was so swollen and broken.
And you couldn't move.
I couldn't move, and I had these casts on, and you always kind of think like, okay, I know I'm alive, but am I going to walk with a limp? Am I ever going to be able to bend my arms again? And to be such an active person, and to have a child so young who's loves to run and play soccer, and it really cast doubt into my mind of just what kind of life was I going to have. And I still have those issues. I mean, I still have severe problems. I have trouble sleeping. I have trouble doing long walks. I can't pick up things that are very heavy.
Right.
And I don't know when or if that's ever going to go back to normal. So it's, the doubt in the beginning was really more catastrophic. That kind of went away as I was able to move. But still, in the end, I think one of the biggest things is just I feel like I carry the whole event with me constantly.
Wow.
I feel like there's a weight on me that is really kind of changed my DNA a bit. Some for the positive and some for the negative.
Okay.
I really feel like emotionally I feel a bit darker.
Okay.
Not to say that I'm meaner or anything. I just kind of I feel like there's this kind of dark cloud that kind of follows me, and it's hard to shake. I just feel like there's that man that day took something from me, and it's hard to process sometimes.
What happened, just because you mentioned him, what happened to him? I know he got caught, right?
It's a very touchy subject.
Okay, but he did get caught.
He was caught. Well, I mean, if I can even just tell that story. When I had begun my journey home to take the dog home, we were actually at the Beverly Hills Police Department booth.
Oh, wow.
On Rodeo Drive.
Wow, okay.
And the sergeant who was manning that booth ended up being the man who arrested the person who hit me.
Wow.
So the fact that there was this little circle of I walked away from this man, walked a few blocks, then got hit, and then the fact that a few minutes later the man who hit me crashed the vehicle, got out of the vehicle, started running.
Oh my goodness.
and ran towards this massive, party
Crowd of people.
on Rodeo Drive.
Right.
And then the call came in, and then the police started to make chase.
Wow.
And the fact that the person who put the cuffs on the man is the man who I was literally standing with
That's
5
amazing.
minutes prior.
That's amazing.
And someone who I personally knew well.
Wow.
So when he arrested the man who hit me, he didn't even know that I was the one who got hit.
You were the one that had been hit. Well, no, because it all happened so fast.
It was almost like a movie. I mean, it was really wild.
Wow.
But so to answer your question, he was arrested.
Mm-hmm.
He made some very brutal statements to the police. I don't want to say it, but it was kind of violence towards me.
Wow.
Not to say that he was targeting me,
No,
but
'cause
he
he
was
didn't know
just
you, but-
very. He's just not a good person.
Right.
The current situation, I'm not exactly too sure, but I was informed by the assistant district attorney that his lawyer was trying to claim insanity, and he was moved from the airport court jail up to Hollywood to a more mental evaluation place.
And
So-
that's, just that really, what strikes me about that is that I know from what, you have a passion for young men's mental health.
Yes.
And so that's not lost on me that is kind of the direction that this seems to be going right now. Whether or not that's accurate, that is at least something that is, that's really interesting that's just, you already have that passion and like, what is this? I wonder what's going to happen there with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a real problem in this country now. Especially with young men, the anger, the disconnection from God, from community. It is, in my opinion, at a pandemic level now.
Yeah.
When even just coming here, in the parking lot, I saw my phone and there was a stabbing at a school in Torrance this morning
goodness.
from a young man who stabbed 3 administrators.
Oh my goodness.
So there is an unbelievable downward spiral of young men in this country who have really been not focused on in society, in media. And this is not to take away from the incredible movement of championing young women.
Yes.
I
Oh, no,
mean,
not
absolutely,
at all.
and
Not at all.
especially as a girl dad.
You can do both.
I
Like, you
want to
can
champion
have-
my daughter all day long, but unfortunately, I believe wholeheartedly that's come at the cost of young men, and where we have not been giving them the proper tools to turn into productive, young men, and we're seeing the outcome of that in in violence, in drug use, in suicides. It's every single metric is through the roof right now.
It is, yeah.
And if we do not look at these young men as worth fighting
yes,
for,
yes.
we're going to see these numbers go even worse.
Yeah.
And society is not going to bode well.
Well, we already have in this country, and I mean, I would say it's a worldwide issue too, but there's a lack of fathers, father figures, and there's just, fathers who are present, fathers, men who knew how to do fathering well, or who have seen fathering done well. And so when you start there and you have that gap, you already have boys who are growing into young men that don't have an example of how to do this well, and of their value, like you said, and their worth, just as boys and men. And so, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think, and I don't think it's either or. I think you can raise up women and raise up men as well. I don't think you have to do one at the cost of the other. And you are someone who does fathering well. And so I think I love that this is it's a journey. It's a journey, but I love that that's such a passion. And I just think it's very, I don't want to say ironic, but very interesting that the young man who hit you seems to be someone who's affected by that, which is just it's just sad that's the status. And in LA we see a lot of that anyway because we're in Los Angeles, but it sounds like this experience for you it's not only obviously redefined things in your faith and your belief in God, but in yourself. I mean, how has this changed just what you even think could be possible in your life?
Well, it's funny that my daughter thinks I'm invincible.
You're kind of
which is-
bionic right now. I mean, there's some metal
Superman.
happening. There is Superman, yeah.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is I don't think I ever lacked confidence, but I think what everyone is kind of missing is the true belief that you can do anything. And I think now this whole incident has just shown me that, like, what can stop me? A BMW X3 SUV can't stop me. A concrete wall can't stop me. So what can you do? You know, or what can any situation do that my thoughts of myself and my ability to just execute and get things done has never been stronger.
Wow.
And I really believe that this has just given me that final push to say, just go out and grab it. Just go and do it. Because nothing can stop you. Nothing.
Yeah. Were you in some experiences maybe stopping yourself before?
Oh,
like, do you think
100%.
Really? Okay.
100%.
So this has kind of lit that fire under your
for
rear
sure.
end in a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this has just given me that extra push to say, like, what can stop you now?
Yeah. How has it changed things for you? I mean, not being someone who was hit, but someone who was hit in the sense of
she was
just
hit.
emotionally and
Absolutely.
psychologically. Like, how has this changed what you see as possible for both of you and for your family?
Yeah, so it's been something that's been really, it's really grounded me in taking every day and not taking it for granted.
I love that.
You know, I think I've mentioned this to you before he got hit by the car. I would say to Russ, like, you're going a million miles per hour, like, you're not taking care of yourself, like, and I would literally go, you need like a jolt to the system, like, not literally.
We don't use those words anymore.
We don't use those words anymore. But the ironic thing for me, well, it's not ironic, the universe thing for me is that Russ's whole platform that he ran on is for safety in the city.
I noticed that. I did see, and and safety is, it's core to you. I mean, that is,
Protecting others
protecting
is
others. It's
my
your
soul.
job.
Yeah.
It's your soul. It's, so I mean.
Yeah, I feel like the way that I took it as was not why did he get hit, but like, wow, that must have been God's will that of all the people in the city to get hit by somebody who stole a car and then plowed into them 60 plus miles per hour is the one person who's superhuman who can maybe take this as like, I'm meant for something more. And I really do believe that. I've always believed that. And I don't think it was a random act. I mean, it was God's act, and I just flipped the narrative and say it was meant to be for whatever it awakened in him. So.
I mean, random in the sense that you weren't targeted. The gentleman didn't know you.
It's
It
actually
wasn't
interesting that they were exploring
Really?
a possible targeting because I had won my election for the Beverly Hills Unified School District only 7 days prior.
Yeah.
Oh, this was right after that.
Yes.
Yeah, hence the trauma name.
Yeah, so that's where there was talk of whether I was targeted.
But it turns out that this gentleman was not.
Was
that.
not. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
correct.
yeah, so random in the sense of no connection, but not random in the sense of
God's will.
anyone. You could take it and make an even stronger platform out of this, of safety, the need for safety and the need for young men's mental health help. I mean, it actually kind of is redefining some of those platforms for you, it sounds like. It kind of is redefining some of those platforms for you, it sounds like.
It's definitely given me a lot of talking points.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but it's given me more notoriety, unfortunately for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
But I mean, it's opened more doors where I can share the message, and to be able to help more people. Absolutely.
I mean, because this could happen to anyone. I mean, that's the thing, is something like this. It could have happened anywhere.
But I'm glad it
anytime.
happened to me.
Yeah. Okay, tell me that.
I'm glad it happened to me, because the last thing that I'd want to see is another person being hurt and having their family suffer.
Go through this.
And although my own family suffered, we're going to get through it because we're very strong.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was able to go through that. I was able to live through it, and now I'm able to use that for positive change. I would have never wanted to happen to anybody else.
No, and it's amazing that already. I mean, it hasn't even been a year yet.
It'll be a year next month.
So in November, mid-November. So yeah, it's just crazy that you can already see it from that perspective. I love that you both can already see it from that perspective, and it's not that far out from everything. You know, that will only magnify more and more, you know, I think as time goes on and you're able to sort of say, okay, what else can we do, you know, as a family, as a couple, how does this redefine just what is possible for your future? I mean, I think, like you said, anything's possible, but are there specific examples of things you just wouldn't have done before that now you're kind of going, yeah, I'm going to do that? Like, are things is there anything that's changed specifically that you can think of? I mean, maybe in a good way, I don't know.
I mean, I think it's just really given me more of a platform to be able to make positive change. I mean, unfortunately, you know, most people's outreach is just, you know, social media.
Right.
But the fact that now I am an elected official, I do have a large following, I do, you know, I get media attention. I don't use that as like, oh, look at me. I use that as the ability of just, you know, reaching more people.
Doing some good with it.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing, is that I think the accident, because it got so much media coverage, that now when I reach out to a reporter that covered the accident, I can now get out more news, you know, and more, you know, just stories that can help people. So it sounds really odd, but I almost thank the man that hit me.
I was going to ask about that. It's interesting that you just said that, because the next thing I was going to ask you is just for someone who may be listening to this or watching this, and maybe they have been in your shoes where they had a family member who was hit, or they've been in the shoes of the young man who hit you, and something has happened in their life that they just deeply regret. And what would you say, is there any advice, I mean, that you could give to someone who maybe has been in your shoes where they've had someone in their family or friends that were injured?
Forgive.
Yeah.
Forgive.
Have you been able to do that?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I think, and not to go into politics, but we all know about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And at his ceremony, when his wife spoke, which I thought was one of the most powerful speeches I've ever heard, and when she said, I forgive him. I forgive the man that hit me too. And it really removed so much hate from my heart.
Anger.
And I had it. I dreamt about
things happening,
putting him into that wall. And the fact that when I saw Charlie's wife say that, I felt like I instead of forgiving him, I kind of thought that I just moved on.
Okay.
Which was not the same.
Not the same.
It was more of I put it in a drawer and I locked it, but it was there. Okay. It's not there anymore.
Wow. That's amazing. That's incredible. And that is supernatural. I mean, that is something to be able to have. And I've heard someone say that forgiveness, it doesn't take away, you know, what happened. It doesn't take away, you know, you would never wish this on anyone, but you're setting yourself free when you forgive. It is really, truly about you and saying, like, hey, I'm not going to continue to carry this for myself, for my family. And it really, I mean, that's just the deepest form of love, I think. It's like you're choosing love and you're choosing yourself and your family over continuing to harbor what truly a lot of people would probably say is justifiable, but anger and bitterness and hate. And it's like, actually, no, I'm not going to keep living like that. And yeah, I mean, that's a huge turning point. That's massive. Did you know, Lisa, like, did you guys talk about this when this happened?
We did in the beginning, and I don't know if Russ remembers, because it was very strange, Peyton, that when people would ask about the guy that hit Russ, I didn't have any anger in my heart towards him from the beginning. I had nothing. and it was very strange for me. I just was so grateful Russ was okay.
Yeah.
And when they would bring his name up, I would just be like, okay, because I had so much gratitude. And when I would bring it up to Russ, he was like, I'm just so angry this happened. And to see that he forgave him is just that's a big weight off of him.
In the beginning, I carried a lot.
Yeah.
I was very mad. I was resentful. When I had found out that the gentleman who hit me had quite a bit of a criminal record.
Oh, wow.
Including a crime in Beverly Hills like 6 months prior.
Wow.
And just an absolute anger towards the system, and you know, and everything. But then when I thought, you know, I get to go home to my family.
Yeah.
I get to go back to a community who loves me. I get to go back to an important role. And unfortunately, that gentleman gets to sit in a prison cell. And so there's really just no point in carrying this dark passenger with me in my soul when I, for a brief moment, completely forgot about how special my life was.
Wow.
And the moment that I focused on us and not him is when I was able to then just release all of that.
I love that so much. And how, for those who are listening and watching, how has this redefined you guys as husband and wife? I mean, I mean, you all are amazing and wonderful, but like, how has this transformed things there?
I almost lost her.
Well, actually, I almost lost him.
I was going to say vice versa.
Yes.
Yeah. But like
It's-
Lisa shared, like, hey, I used to take things for granted and I don't take it for granted anymore. Have you noticed that shift for yourself as well? Like just not taking the things for granted or people for granted?
I've had an unbelievable shift where we've had, I mean, like every couple, we've had ups and downs and all that. But in the end, it's like, this is my best friend, this is my partner. And nothing will ever get in our way, nothing will ever break us. And even though you can break some bones, it's not going to break my soul, and it's not going to break the partnership that we have. So.
And just the fact that I keep coming back to the fact of you waking up in the ambulance and saying, "Is my family okay?" And just that to me speaks volumes of not just you as a husband and a father, but the bond that you all had. That was your first conscious thought. And I love that. And I'm really excited for for how God's going to use this in the future. I feel like it's just beginning for you. I feel like, once you get past that, even that 1 year mark, I think this is going to be something you're going to be able to draw upon for years to come.
What's really wild is I just got the invitation to the same event next month.
The holiday
Yeah.
lighting? Ooh, okay. Are we going back? Is that going to
100%.
be, okay. I didn't know if that would be
100%.
triggering, if that would be something that's, going to be tough to do.
Well, speaking about triggering, we live only 2 blocks away from where I got hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I drive past that wall every day.
Wow. That's, and maybe that's for the best, so that it's something you can face and not constantly have a memory of what happened too. This is a time, I love the thought of you guys going back to the holiday lights and thinking this is a redemption arc for you all, redeeming that place, redeeming that whole, just the lighting, the situation, the event itself, and really redemption too for your daughter, just for her to have new memories there.
Can I add one quick thing? The year before this happened, our daughter was in the hospital, at Children's Hospital, Thanksgiving night, like the night before Thanksgiving, for 4 days. So she was really traumatized by that, and all she wanted to do was spend Thanksgiving together the following year.
Wow.
Russ was in the hospital, and he did everything he could to be home for Thanksgiving, and he was.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, I have chill bumps.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, you all are incredible. I am so grateful just to have had time with both of you all today. And thank you, Russ, for sharing your story, and Lisa for sharing your story. It's yours together, so I don't want to just thank you, but thank you for both of you to share this. I can't wait to see, honestly, what comes out of this. I mean, I truly know and believe that things like this, they're not accidents, and they don't just happen, and we are changed on the other side of it. And so I honestly think that's just beginning for you. And as you continue to physically heal, I think you're really going to just bring so much attention to something that maybe people just weren't aware of before, in terms of real safety and the tie into mental health, and especially for young men. And just, I think it's going to change so many people's lives. So I'm very encouraged to see where you both as a power couple take this, and just what happens. I think it's going to be incredible. So thank you both for being here today. Thank you for your time, and I've loved having you, and we'll have to have you back for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you all so much for joining us today on this episode of Redefining Possible. I'm Peyton Hoffman, your host, and can't wait to see you next time. What happens when the thing you've barely dared to dream for actually comes true? How does it change you when what you've been believing for and almost given up hope on finally becomes reality? The Redefining Possible podcast spotlights guests with stories of insurmountable odds who have witnessed the impossible become possible with God.